smashed him.
You what?
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for Gresh.
Let's go! Brock Lesnar on the beast.
What the hell?
Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level got an increase.
I get no bitches.
Content on the daily. Feeling like Gresh unleashed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby mamas, baby daddies, everybody in between, it is your purveyor of mischief, Gresh, welcoming you back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. And today, DeonteDDJ will be joining the Unleashed table, and he will be divulging into all it takes to be a content creator on YouTube, WWE games, and all that good stuff, and everything in between. We have a good laugh. He lists his favorite black wrestlers, as well as I give him a short list of content creators that he give his honest opinions about. So without further delay, joining me now, obviously, is the guy who is, I guess I would say, simply better than the rest, but that is a whole nother gimmick infringement that I don't even want to be a part of. So we're gonna call him my good buddy DeonteDDJ. What's good with you, brother?
What's up, man? I mean, I am technically simply better than the rest. I will prove it one day to Aaron. But anyway, what's up, man?
Hey, man, welcome to the table, man. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. A little tired because I've been working like crazy recently, but yeah, part of the process.
Oh yeah, you're tired because you've been doing your thing over on YouTube, man. Like you one of them fast growing content creators where I believe you need to at least have 100,000 by the end of the year. But it's up to the people to wake up.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure.
All right, so I checked out your interview with Muscle Man Malcolm, a fellow VYBE member of yours, of you guys. You watch NXT UK, and that's what piqued my interest. You watch NXT UK.
Is this how we're gonna start?
Yeah, because as someone who does not watch that show, who's on the roster you think you would recommend to watch? Because I want to watch NXT UK, but I just don't want to watch that much wrestling because I watch WWE, AEW, Impact from time to time, MLW. It's so much going on. I'm like,
I understand that. I don't like watching that much wrestling either. Like, I don't understand much NJPW strong and like that whole thing. There's too much there. But I'll keep it with the highlights for New Japan on like Twitter and shit. By the way, can we swear on your channel? That's cool, right? You can swear.
I'm uncensored, brother.
Okay, good. good. Just check it. I don't know if we were doing like family friendly interview, but basically NXT UK. Okay, who should you watch? Ilya Dragunov. He's phenomenal. Okay. I'm sure you've seen him before. Trent and Tyler, one of the best tag teams of all time. Who else should you watch? JD McDonough. For as much as I don't agree with everything that Jordan Devlin's done, he's moving over to NXT 2.0. He's good. Under a new gimmick and everything, calling himself the Ace, which is a bit rips off a little bit, but stuff from what's his name, Tanahashi. And so who else should you watch? Just Trent and Tyler. Trent and Tyler are like the pinnacle of everything.
I've seen some highlights
feuding now
because I saw the highlights where Trent turned on. Not Trent. Tyler. It was Trent. Yeah, Trent turned on Tyler.
Trent turned on Tyler. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. We're getting the Ciampa Gargano feud.
It's gonna be better than Ciampa Gargano,
but better, yeah, because the ending we don't talk about that ending match that they had that was abysmal.
Yeah.
So when I was back to the interview you had with Muscle Man Malcolm, I kind of caught. Did you first start watching wrestling in 2011? Like as far as like on your own? I know you probably watched it as a kid, but like on your own.
I'll briefly retell the story because I was full of anxiety for that interview and I just didn't tell it well. So to start off in like 2007, I discovered the game SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, the greatest wrestling game of all time. I would say it's 2011, but that's a whole different.
I actually like it too.
Yeah. So back then, with my cousin, who was super into wrestling, way more into wrestling than I was, he was trying to get me into it, and I really wasn't understanding the real life product of it all. But the video game, I was like, oh, super fun to play, and so I'm playing the video game like that couple year span, but I wasn't watching the actual TV. Like I'd see highlight, it wasn't really like a thing I cared about that much. I just found it low-key kind of cringe and kind of corny. I don't see the appeal here, which is very ironic considering I'm now here. So yeah, I didn't really see the, but SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, goated game, one of the, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this. And so I did. As passed by, I'm not really watching it, and then randomly, the channel we have here in the UK called Sky Sports, I'm sure you've heard of it. They had like Undertaker versus Kane Hell in a Cell highlights from the 20, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like I'll watch this. I've got nothing else to watch. I'll check it out, and I enjoyed it. And then a couple like weeks after that, I saw on YouTube, which was just getting going at the time, and that's around the time I was starting my channel. But I saw John Cena roasting Vicky Guerrero with Dolph Ziggler, and I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. And so it's a very random way to get into wrestling, honestly. But it was like a 10-minute segment of them fat shaming Vicky Guerrero, which in this day and age has not aged very well, but that's hilarious to my 10-year-old immature self. And so I was like, oh, this is funny. It was really good. Like I can kind of see myself getting into this. And then maybe after the Christmas episode of Raw that year, they played a little vignette for something called the Royal Rumble, and I was like, oh, okay, this seems good. Like they're all saying either one, and I'm like, okay, let me check this out. Let me try and persuade my mum to or order it on pay-per-view. It was like £60 at the time or whatever, but I was like, okay, I really want this. Like, let's get it. I watched the Royal Rumble, was rooting for Santino to win at the end. He didn't win. It was Del Rio, unfortunately. And then, yeah, after the rest is kind of history after that. Like, I slowly started getting more into it around that time, or getting more into it around that time. And then I started watching the weekly shows, started watching SmackDown, started watching WWE Superstars with freaking Tyson Kidd and Trent Beretta and like Justin Gabriel and all those kinds of guys. Was watching NXT even as well. Like I was getting super into it. Then we got into the summer of Punk, and Edge retired, and I was super sad because he was like one of my favorites in that time. And I was like buying all the DVDs, and I was like, oh, this Edge guy's sick. And then just had him. He had retired, and you know we know what happened with him. And so yeah, then I just started watching more of it. Started slowly getting more into the games, and yeah, like I said, rest is history. Here we are.
I'm getting enamored with your story, but it's funny that you mentioned 2011 because that was ironically the first pay-per-view I ordered was WrestleMania 27.
Ooh, okay.
And
So
it was like,
similar times.
yeah. So no, fun thing is I was watching wrestling in the 90s or in the late 90s because I was 4. With my sister
Okay.
and my cousin / brother because he was adopted into the family. And my mom caught me and she was like, don't you watch that shit no more because at the time it was still the Attitude Era, so you know all you saw was tits, ass, and swearing and blood. So my mom was like, no. So fast forward to 2006, the end of 2006, early 2007, that's when I really started getting back into it, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then obviously 2011, it's like 2009 to 2011 is when I blacked out. Like if WWE on YouTube doesn't upload a full match type deal, I'll be like, oh, I don't remember nothing that happened. I'll be like, oh shit, that did happen. Like you saw at the Royal Rumble this year, they did a few references to stuff that was in the past, and you was like, oh shit, that like no, not WWE, AEW with Claudio and Jake Hager. I was like,
yeah,
oh shit, they were a tag team at one point.
We
The
people.
I was like, wait a minute, and that was a part of the time where I'd just be blacking shit out because I'm like, it'd be so much going on, and then some of the stuff sucks. So I'd be like, maybe if I forget that, I will.
Wait.
I'll be happy.
Are you telling me Aksana and Antonio Cesaro United States Championship run wasn't fire? Is that what you're telling me right now? Really?
That was a thing. That was a thing.
See, this is what I mean. That era of WWE, like, it was when I was getting into it, so there was so much weird stuff happening and stuff that arguably, like, hardcore fans hate. But at the same time, I was getting into it and I was a kid, so I was like, oh, this is great. But anyway, sorry, I
No,
cut you off.
that's
Go
the fun.
on.
No, that's the funny thing about it is it's like around that time that when I look back at stuff, and anything that you hate online, you be like, bro, come on now. You know you really like it. Like, come on.
Yeah,
It's wrestling. You're not supposed to take it. Anybody who take wrestling serious, I think you are a fry short of a happy
a
meal
loser.
because it's
Oh,
yeah, basically. Basically, in American terms, a fry short of happy meal, that means you stupid. Because it's like, bro,
yeah,
it's wrestling. You're not really you're not supposed to take it serious. Like if you take it serious, then in the words of Seahawk on Twitter, you get no bitches.
yeah, exactly.
Basically. But WrestleMania 27, what was your favorite match on there?
Edge versus Del Rio, because, like I said, Edge is my favorite all time, biggest Edge fan back then, and it was his last match, it turns out. And so I think I mentioned it in the Markham interview as well, but like that was obviously I was like 11 at the time, and I wasn't allowed to like stay up for full pay-per-views because my body just couldn't handle that 4 a.m. schedule like a degenerate. And so I ended up, yeah, no, it's quite into the sleep schedule part of being a UK wrestling fan in a second. But like I was saying, yeah, I got a few matches of WrestleMania 27 to watch live, and it was great. And what I didn't know was going to be his final match, but watching that, and it was just, Edge is the best. He is.
Now, you mentioned Edge. We're gonna fast forward it to current times. Were you a fan of his heel turn with the Judgment Day?
Uh, kind of. I feel like they just barely scratched the surface could do with that, and I feel like it was a little premature to make like I don't even know what they call it, the disciples. Like I guess that's more House of Black, but like the disciples or like the lower people in Judgment Day below him, they didn't really build them up as much. Like I know Damian Priest kind of speaks for himself at this point. Like he had the US title stuff, Ray Balor, like I get it, but I feel like they should have built them up a lot. Then maybe Edge, gets turned on. I feel like it was all way too fast between, 1 minute he's in a feud with AJ Styles, then he's under some blue lighting, and then he's blue, and then he's evil, and then he tries to kill us, and then now he's got these guys, and like, I think they probably could have done a better job of like flip, but I've enjoyed it for what it was. I feel like he did the best he could. Also, the promos were kind of corny at times.
I don't know if you saw what I be quote tweeting people with they'll compare Edge's heel promo to Christian Cage's recent heel turn. Like they have all that dialogue, but then Christian said, "Your daddy's dead." LOL.
Yeah.
Or
I saved that to my phone.
he have all that dialogue, and then Luchasaurus says, "Raw!" Now he's heel. So they will say, "You doing all this dialogue," and then I'm gonna be honest with you. Anytime Edge did talk, I did black out because I'm like, "Come on, bro, you're talking for 20 minutes like of nothing. You're not. What's the point?"
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. Like with the Edge promos, like I feel like he did the best he could with it, but at the same time, a lot of the promos were just like, "You people stink." Like it was very much when he turned heel and he had the gas mask, and it was like, "Oh yeah, you people stink. You people suck. This town, insert town here. This town's bad," to get a little heel reaction. It wasn't really like Judgment Day. It was more just like heel faction generic catchphrases. Whereas Christian's just a savage, and it's great. He's just
WWE 2K. It was WWE 2K season mode or My Rise, basically with Seth Rollins and his remember, I think if you play that part where he turns on his disciple, you join the what is it, the greater good or whatever. That's basically what it is
like
with the dialogue, where he was just, it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like I played that part, I'm like, what are you talking about right now? Okay, I'm gonna whoop your ass, cool.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, and that might be because of the scripting, or he's trying to distance himself from the rated R superstar. But it felt to the point where it was like, bro, you're just saying words at this point. You're not going, because you're into acting. You're not going from plot A to plot Z. You're going from plot A plus B plus C plus D. Then you're going to Z. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? and by the time you get to Z,
Yeah.
I'm already tuned out. So it's like this is it's like a I don't know if you ever heard of this producer from America. He's kind of like Tyler Perry with his dialogue sometimes, where it's all over the place until he gets to the point. You Google Tyler Perry and his films and watch his films, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
It sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I know the name. Off the top of my head, I
Yeah.
can't think, but I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
what I'm
very
saying.
much just like
all
sorry,
over
go
the
on.
place. It was all over the
Yeah.
place.
It was. It could have been done much better, but we saw the vignettes during Money in the Bank as well, didn't we? I think that might be Stevenson maybe, but we'll see
I'm
what
hoping
the next
Edge.
chapter is for Edge. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I was one of the people who kind of flipped out. It was like the Fiend. Like, is it the Fiend?
Me too.
Or then I was like, when I looked at it again, and then people started breaking it, I'm like, yeah, that's Edge.
Yeah.
And then Joe Mashups, he put a tweet of Edge's original Titantron from early 90s, 2000s, and it was basically the same thing but more updated. I'm like, yeah, that's Edge. He's going back to his roots. Hopefully he come back to Macarena. I'm just playing. He need to come back to Metalingus.
Yeah.
But
the 1998 theme he had, where it was like "You Think You Know Me," like with the woman saying it. That was a great theme.
You think you know me?
Yeah.
Hey, they might well knowing them, they'll probably have Def Rebel remix it and sounds like shit.
Oh,
it's
Def Rebel. That's a whole conversation.
might as well. What is your favorite current thing? Might as well talk about Def Rebel. What is your favorite current thing?
In wrestling or WWE?
We're gonna first WWE, then all of wrestling.
I feel like I almost need to look through my Spotify right now. Do you want to look through my Spotify? I'll see if what theme? There's got to be a theme I listen to a lot. But you know what isn't actually an underrated theme? Dominic Dijakovic. His NXT theme is really good.
Is it still up?
What else? Yeah.
I know they've been purging. I know they've been purging themes if you're not with the company anymore. So that's why I was like, is it still up? So
no, because he's still T-Bar, isn't he? So I guess it still counts, right? Right,
yeah,
we're gonna look through my Spotify here, and I'm gonna try and find out what the hell I listen to. Because I won't lie, I've got a few of these songs in my gym playlist just for like motivation and shit. So let's see. Okay, Spotify is really not gonna load. Okay, there we go. Let's find out. But yeah, while I'm doing this, what about you? What was your favorite WWE theme right now?
Currently, it's Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah.
The chorus, but then it's like I kind of black out the transition into the all that noise, but I just kind of remember the choir part. Anything other than that? That's why it's the meme that he's everybody's favorite church choir director.
Oh, I just noticed. Yeah, they are blacking out the themes for people who aren't with it. They've got rid of Johnny Gargano's theme.
Yeah, so you can't hear Rebel Heart anymore.
No, that was my favorite one. That I've listened to that an unhealthy amount of times. That sucks. The Undisputed
Fortunately,
Era,
it's still on YouTube. It's still on. That might be gone too.
That's gone. I'm just looking at the grayed out ones now. Keith Lee, he had a great theme. Cody Rhodes. There we go. Kingdom.
Hey man, that's on my playlist. But so we can agree that Seth Rollins is basically one of the best. I mean, you can put Roman Reigns up there, but I mean, cheap plug. If you hear the highlight reel version, it sounds a lot better. That's my boy highlight. He rapped over it just for shits and giggles, and it actually came out Romans.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it was around the time where it first came out, we was like, man, this is missing something. We we need some vocals. And he's like, yeah, let me do something. But now that you've heard it so many times, it's like, it's fine either way. But yeah, Seth Rollins is number one, Roman, and then everybody else is just everybody else's.
Yeah. You know what is another great theme actually? While we're on the conversation of theme songs, Seven Nation Army, Pat McAfee's theme at WrestleMania. That was really good as well. Classic.
I hope he come out of that at SummerSlam.
He should, but also he stole it from my boy Trent Seven. While we were talking about NXT UK earlier, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Pat McAfee's theme so great." Like, "Oh, he brought this to WWE." No, Trent had it first. He had it in the UK tournament back in 2017, and I'm
He
sick and tired of people
did.
not remembering this.
He
He started
did.
like it's legit. The what's it called? Like the chorus, like when people are singing along to the song, it's like, "Oh, Trent Seven Army." Like, there's no Pat McAfee there, but
Oh, you just unlocked you just
yeah,
unlocked my Pandora's box because I remember being excited about that tournament because that was my first fun fact, that was my first time being exposed to UK wrestling. Was that UK
really.
tournament? Was that UK tournament?
Mm. Yeah, it's great. Oh, speaking of, sorry, now that we're talking about the UK, I'm remembering all my favorite UK wrestlers. Bea Priestley or Blair Davenport. She just returned to NXT UK. She's great as well. She's great. She just came back from injury.
She was in
Um,
AEW, wasn't she?
she was the first big jump from AEW to WWE, not Cody Rhodes. But anyway, I won't stop my NXT UK propaganda. I'm going full in with it now. Mustache Mountain's theme, Trent Seven's theme, great as well. Pete Dunne's old theme, fantastic.
He don't
What
even
else we
have
got
it
here?
anymore. He has Sheamus's thing.
Yeah,
Butch,
it breaks my heart.
Butch on these
Butch,
hoes.
Butch laddie. Yeah, I think that's Jericho's theme. Obviously, I'll stop the conversation now about theme songs. I'm just very interested in this playlist now.
Now
But
that we've moved on from WWE, what about AEW? Because you know they have what's Ruckus? That dude is pushing out banger after banger after banger. Like I can
yeah,
tell you right
literally.
now, my top one is "I Am" the Keith Lee theme. I'm sorry,
hmm
that's on my gym
I
playlist. That's on my like soon as when I'm about to tap out off the what you call it off of burpees, trying to do some
mm,
burpees to finish it. I'm like I can't do it. As soon as that come on, I'm like, all right, I got to do it.
I am
Am
Keith.
Keith. I'm
Ugh, ugh.
like you just start working out. I'm like, all right, yeah, let me go.
I feel that.
I regret it later because when the beat drops, you kind of go overboard because
Yeah.
it pumps you up. But then I'm like, all right, I'm good on that. All right. Another one,
Um,
even though Ruckus didn't record it, Big Pressure, Swerve's thing. I'm sorry.
yeah.
This
The only problem I have with Swerve's theme though is that it takes a little too long to get into it. Like when he made his debut at Revolution, it was like there was a big pop because he was like Swerve Strickland making his AEW debut, and it was just kind of quiet and there was nothing, and then it hit. I think it should more just go into the chorus if I'm being picky
I
about it.
think what they need to do, and I've said that about a lot of AEW themes, they need to have an intro version and an exit version.
Yeah,
They need to have it to where when Swerve wins, they don't need to replay the intro version. They need to go top, bro, catch, like go straight to the beat. Because
yeah,
when he celebrates, I'm like, bro, this is quiet. It's,
yeah.
even when he celebrates, it sounds quiet. I'm like, and then as soon as it beat, I'm like, oh, they done moved on. I don't even hear the beat.
Yeah, it's like they need to do it with swerves. They when Shinsuke first got to NXT, when he first beat Sami Zayn, they did that thing where it was the long intro at the start, and then they mastered it, and it was like the and it was into the chorus. And they do it with the Young Bucks theme as well. Obviously, they're like EVPs, so they're gonna get a little bit better treatment. But
Yeah.
even still, like with Ricky Stark's theme, it should just hit in there, like you said with swerves, it should just get into it. But as far as
Who's
my
on your
favorite,
list? Who's on your list
yeah,
for
I
the
was just gonna
AEW
say,
themes?
there is a lot on it. Like almost every AEW theme I enjoy. So first of all, we've got FTR's theme, a banger, grew on me a lot in the last year. Much better than any theme they've had before. Coliseum Clash, Samoa Joe's theme, a banger. Ricky Starks, the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, arguably the best AEW theme there is, just an
Boom.
absolute classic since we first heard it. Ghost Town Triumph, Hangman Adam Page, Wild Thing, a banger every time you hear it. Hook's theme, the Chairman's Intent, Court of Personality, the Ethan Page's theme, underrated. MJF's theme has its moments. Cold World, Eddie Kingston, Britt Baker's theme, John Moxley's old theme, Sting's theme, Darby Allin. There's Kenny
There's like
Omega,
a
Pac.
plethora.
There's so many. Judas as well. What else we got in here? Tarzan Boy, Ruby Soho. I could go on.
Judas, oh boy.
Do you not like that? You not a
I
fan of
liked
Judas?
it at first, but it's like I think the sing along kind of killed it for me when
Do
the
you?
crowd does it,
Wow.
because the crowd they no, I think no, fun fact. I think when the pandemic hit and when you know how they focused, like they literally focused on the crowd
Mm,
singing it, I was like, this doesn't feel the same. I hate it now. And
yeah.
I think I never recovered from it. That's probably what it is.
You know what I almost didn't recover from? I don't remember what AEW event it was, but the event where he had his boy from Fozzy doing like the really loud, whatever the hell it was, just the noise,
It
that
was just
almost
noise.
killed him for me. It was, yeah, it was
That
awful. But
that killed it. And then remember when Cody's theme played live until he
oh, yeah,
returned. I hated it until he returned to WWE. Then I liked it again. I
yeah,
don't know what it
yeah,
is. I think the band is a great band, but they just suck at live.
yeah. The live performances can be very hit or miss. But yeah, Sammy Guevara, the Elite theme I do like just because it's the theme song of BT and I love BT. Cero Miedo by Lucha Bros. Oh, Brian Danielson's theme. Isn't that just a banger as well?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Do you like the instrumental version or the one with the lyrics?
both.
I've seen mixed reviews on the lyric version, where the Born for Greatness version, as opposed to the
It's
instrumental.
it's it's weird because ever since he turned heel, the lyrics seem to match it more, and I don't know how to describe it, but like it feels like they match him more now. I don't know how to describe it, but I do like both versions. They are very good. And also only just recently realized that like the little chant in between the theme song where it's like you can hear the crowd,
It's
they're
somebody
saying
gonna
you're
get
gonna
your
get
fucking
yeah,
you're gonna get
get your
your
fucking
head kicked in, basically. A lot of
yeah.
people didn't catch it. I was like, that's literally it.
No, I thought it was something else for so long, but I guess not. Um, what else is there? Oh, Jamie Hayter's theme. You know, everything about her is just phenomenal.
Oh
Keith
yeah,
Lee.
oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we could talk about Jamie Hayter if you want. I
We're
mean,
part of we're on that train now. I'm on that train now. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I understand.
yeah, she's soon to be TBS champion. It's only a matter of time before she destroys your girl Jade Cargill. But you know, that's gonna be a match. I hope you understand. It is gonna be a
That is
match
going to
some
be a
point.
part where me and Deontay are going to be on the opposing sides of the Twitter machine. Because we were like, no, Jay, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be entertaining Twitter television. But before we get to our Twitter game, let's get on
Mhm.
let's get on your content right quick. What is your favorite series that you produce on your channel? Like, because so far, for those of you who don't know, he has WWE 2K, My Rise content, or My Career Multiverse, as well as My G or GMO. Is it My GM or
Yeah,
GMO?
GM mode. Yeah,
GMO. I believe he had one for Raw. He now has one for AEW as well, and he actually bringing that back for season 2 or 3.
three.
Three. I
Yeah.
watched all of it. That's what I'm trying. It's so much. It's so much content this man produced. It is hilarious. But what is your favorite series that you personally like to work on?
It's got to be between the GM mode stuff and the micro universe, just because I like the micro universe is very much obviously inspired by the Marvel universe, so it's so fun just like planning out all the different stories and having my own timeline to work with and my own characters and like it's like having my own like thing, just my own playground just to play with, and it's very good for content because there's all this possibility for crossover and like not to ruin the end of this series, which the finale is dropping next week. But I'm about to go into the multiverse finally, and so that's going to open up a door of possibilities, a forbidden door of possibilities, because now I can, you know, I can go back to other series that I've done in other universes, and I can have like these superstars interact with these. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to do that, and I'm also going to get a lot of YouTubers involved in that one. Hopefully, you included as well. I haven't asked you yet, but you know, if you want to be a part of the multiverse, yeah,
Hey, the Prodigy doesn't mind coming out of retirement. That was literally
yeah,
my character's nickname, or like nickname, but then it was the Prodigy Carmelo Young. But then
mm.
Carmelo Hayes became a thing. I said, let me retire Carmelo because I don't want to confuse people, or I don't want to. He's too great for me to compare. But I'm like, okay, so I'll just be myself, and
mm.
I was like the Prodigy Gresh or the Prospect Gresh. Like
Yeah.
I started tears. I was like, okay, since I'm a rookie, I'm the prospect. But then when I become better, I'll be the prodigy. But yeah, I tell people all the time, if y'all want to work with me, I got y'all. I don't
Yeah,
mind. I don't
and
mind stepping behind the camera or stepping in front of the editing booth and do my
yeah.
thing.
I think the idea with the multiverse that I'm going to do is that I'm going to get correct because obviously it's my series, and selfishly, I'm not going to give everyone else all the screen time, but I do want to feature some other people as well and be like, okay, this episode, Gresh is here making a cameo from a different universe. Let's get him to cut a promo and like a tag team match or something. We'll get Steve OG's bum ass, and we'll get his Steven Silver here.
This
We'll
feed me
get-
more head ass.
yeah, we'll talk about Steve in a second. But yeah, we'll get Steven Silver in here. We'll get like this guy's creator. We'll get Phoenix. We'll get like all these people and really just make it an expansive universe. And so yeah, that should be exciting. But going back to like my favorite stuff to make, the GM mode also very fun, just because I like the AEW GM mode the first time was such a special thing for me. Like it just the first episode blew up, and it was like, okay, I put a lot of effort into this thing, and there's nothing nicer than when you're a content creator, you put effort into something and it gets a lot of love like instantly. So that was great. And yeah, even though I didn't end up finishing season 2 of the AEW GM mode, but that was purely because 2K19 at that point was like such a washed game, and we had been on it for so long. I was just like, let me wait for 2K22 and then I'll do my thing again. But yeah, AEW GM mode, Micro Universe, those are definitely the two top ones, and the Reddit videos, because you know, Reddit titles always work.
I've tried to get into the Reddit videos. I'm actually going to step back into it, but I try not to get in everybody's territory, because I'm like, let me not get into the WWE game subreddit, because that's Deonte's thing. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't care. Let me just do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Just-
I like I said before, when I think you tweeted that you were going to do something, like I don't mind. Like I'd be happy to see more people on there as well.
Yeah,
so I think I'd like to see that.
and it's stuff like that. But speaking of Steve-O, like we ain't forget about him. His feed me more head ass, like, oh my god,
This guy for real told me he was a Ryback mark. I could not believe the scenes. Man.
I'm like, bro, I almost blocked him. I'm like, you are what?
I just know he used to run around his Australian house in the Upside Down being like, feed me more. Gosh, we should actually start a podcast just slandering Steve, for the whole hour.
Just a full hour just slandering this man, like.
Oh, and you know what is crazy actually? Speaking of Ryback, he shaved his head to be like Ryback. That's the only reason he did it.
Oh yeah, he did shave his head. I'm like, bro, you bum. you forget Baron Corbin, you bum ass Steve-O. All jokes. We're not bullying this man. We love this man. Come on. Before we get to our speed round Q&A, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna forget the queen that you love. You love Jamie Hayter, but what are your thoughts on your girl Liv?
Oh, look at that beautiful scene right there. Oh, just we fought for this moment. We really did. Like me and my girl Liv, we put in many hours of hard work, just in the gym, in the ring, you know, doing rolls and doing suplexes, and it's just great that, you know, I've had many conversations with her. She's out at the moment, but
you're from the UK. You're sounding French with this we.
Je ne sais quoi? Excuse me. Yeah, no. So anyway, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Liv Morgan, you know, she's the greatest women's wrestler. Well, not the greatest of all time. She's getting there though. The greatest women's wrestler of all time is actually behind me there, Becky Lynch. That's a whole different discussion. But you know, going through this thing with Becky back in the day, where people were sleeping on her, we manifested it. We got her to be champion. Main event of WrestleMania, and that. You're at hand with these graphics. You got these on hand. Jesus Christ! Any wrestler I say, there's just a picture. Yeah, no, Liv Morgan. I'm super happy for her. All jokes aside, she earned this. She deserves it, and hopefully. Well, here's the thing. I was going to say hopefully she has a long and prosperous reign as women's champion, but then I remember she won the SmackDown Women's title, and you know who else is on SmackDown? Charlotte Flair.
Holy shit!
It's over.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
By SummerSlam, it's yeah. I'll enjoy it for while it lasts, though.
Oh my god.
Sorry to bring the mood down.
No, funny thing is, when Ronda won the title, someone said y'all gonna miss Charlotte, and then the longer she was champion, I ironically missed Charlotte.
Yeah.
In a way.
Did you though?
Not
Did
really.
you?
Not
I was
really.
gonna say,
Not
do you
really.
really miss the whole
Did you?
"I'm the queen, woo! I'm the
Yeah.
son"?
Yeah. I fibbed. I lied. I didn't miss you. Stay away. Go away.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's AEW.
AEW.
I'd rather see her over there, but because she would actually bring up that women's division with WWE, she only brings it down, in my opinion.
This is true
So,
because that AEW women's division, boy,
they just it's good in
the
spots,
talent is
but
there. It's
yeah,
just the booking that makes you frustrated. And when you
they
call it
they
out, you get called a WWE shield. And I'm like, if I'm on their payroll, I'm gonna take it, but I'm still gonna be honest.
Yeah, no, the thing with AEW is like they do have a very, very talented women's division, like across the board through AEW Dynamite to Rampage to even Dark, which I once got clowned on for watching, but I don't care. Dark's, I enjoy
Dark is
Dark. I
great.
like seeing people who are coming up. And so yeah, like I was saying, like they've got Ruby Soho, they fumbled her to put Britt Baker over. They've got Britt Baker, who is genuinely very good if they book her correctly. Thunder Rosa, and really the point, the error they're making is that Jamie Hayter has not become women's champion yet. That's really where we need to
The
head
air,
with this whole thing.
that and the fact that it's like when it's like they need to give everybody the same time that they give Britt.
Yeah,
It's like
they
Britt is
do.
great, but we need you to treat Thunder Rosa the same
Mm,
that you try,
for real.
that you treated her when she was champion. We need you to treat Chris Statlander like you would treat a Britt Baker because she went through a whole gimmick change more than a woman, and I'm like put a
And she's
title on this woman.
incredible.
Put a
She's
title on this woman.
incredible.
And I saw her
Yeah.
wrestle live on Dynamite when they was here and here in Atlanta, and I'm like, why isn't this woman getting more? That's all I can say the entire match. I'm like, her match
Yeah.
with Ruby Soho. I was like, yo, this is brilliant. Like, what are you doing, Tony? Like what is going on?
Even down to
Tony
the way
Storm.
like yeah, Tony Storm as well. Yeah, Queen of the Cheeks. Uh, I had to. I don't think before I speak. But anyway, like I was saying, back to the serious discussion here. When it comes to women's wrestling in AEW, they have all the potential, but they clearly, no matter how much Tony Khan wants to say that he treats them equally, he doesn't. He doesn't give them the same amount of time as the men. There's always like one women's match and then like 6 men's matches. It should be a bit more balanced because there is a lot more talent there. There should definitely be more B stories in the women's division to build them up to that women's title scene.
Mhm.
Jade Cargill is one of the standouts. I will say I do enjoy what they're doing with her. Like she is kind of firming the booking, but also that whole 30-0 thing and having her 30-0 thing be against Marina Shafir was like, really? Like you've got so much other
I
options.
felt so bad for Marina when the crowd
Yeah,
literally did nothing. I'm like, they are
nothing.
quiet. The crickets were quiet. I'm like, this
Yeah,
is, and it's like I don't bash people because it's like I'm not in their position, but come on, you got to
yeah,
call a spade a spade. Like that was bad.
yeah. When you've got that much talent and you're signing all like, oh, Ruby Soho's all elite, Tony Storm's all elite, Chris Statlander has been grinding since day one, and you give it to Marina Shafir as like the big, it just doesn't make any sense, like to anyone. And also another thing that I hate about women's wrestling in AEW, and it's a very small thing, but the way the commentators act in a men's match compared to a women's match is so different. Like in a women's match, they're a lot more what's the word, jovial, they're a lot more like joking, and even when there's a finish, they're kind of like, oh, that was a move. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, Tony picks up the win. And then in a men's match, they're like, oh, and it's like a big thing. And it's
Oh yeah, the
if you
whole
treat
presentation
something
from
to be
top to bottom is
yeah,
completely different.
if you treat something to be important, then people will see it as important. If you don't treat it as important, then people are never going to take it seriously. Just the way it
And you just took the words right out of my mouth because it's like
is.
I and I noticed that because it was like when JR is up JR, oh my god, it's become a running joke. If you listen to Deadlock, it's literally a running joke about JR's commentary with women, and I'm like, bro, come on now.
Yeah.
Y'all need to either. Now I give credit where it's due. Excalibur tries to make it important, but then you
Mm.
instantly have JR say a sly comic, and then it's like, okay, now we don't care it again. Because he'll say something, he'll try to hype a move up, but then JR say, "Are you sure, Excalibur? Are you sure?" I'm like,
"Are you sure, Excalibur? My
you,
God, I don't
you just
buy
killed it.
JR's barbecue sauce right now at JR's barbecue."
You just killed it. Like I remember at one point where he was like trying to talk about Chris Statlander losing weight and stuff. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's you remember in the early AEW days when they had like Riho and Nyla Rose going at it. I think that was the feud at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And the first of all, he'd be very like obviously we know Nyla's situation, but JR was like an extra level of uncomfortable when talking about her and like being in those matches. And then he'd just be really awkward about it. And then with Riho, he'd always be like constantly, like you said, obsessed with her weight, being like, "Oh, she only weighs 90 pounds, Excalibur." Okay, but she's incredibly talented. It doesn't matter.
She's
Like,
the underdog, my guy. Come on now.
Yeah.
You call Rey Mysterio matches against people the size of Great Khali. Come on now. Like, and you not once said anything about their weight. It's stuff like that. I'm like, bro, just polish that. And it might come down to they may need to. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this. They may need to script the men. I mean, the commentary, like not fully scripted from top to bottom, but like to say, hey, don't say this. Focus on this. Focus on this match. Make the people care. Make the crowd care. Because if you don't, why would they care?
Yeah, exactly. It is something they can work on, though. That is one positive of AEW. They can work on it.
All right, so now we're gonna get to the speed round. I had to wrap it up from there because I'm like, you just literally said everything I was gonna say. But let's get to the speed round Q&A, and I got something. I did this with Brendan last time, and I'm going to do it with you as well.
Okay.
List your 5 favorite Black wrestlers, past and present, not exclusive to WWE.
Ooh. Okay. Keith Lee. Can the New Day count as one?
Yeah.
The New Day. Ooh. Who else? The Rock counts. Does The Rock count?
Yeah. He have black.
Who else are we thinking? Who else? Oh, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's a killer. Who else? Who should be the last one? Gotta think careful about this. There's someone obvious I'm missing. I don't want to say Shelton Benjamin as the last pick. There's someone else I'm missing. Who am I missing? My memory is not good enough for this. Oh God, I feel really bad now. Someone's gonna get at me on Twitter. I'm forgetting someone. Just scrolling through my Spotify. Who am I forgetting? There is someone else I love. Okay, I don't care.
It don't have to be. It don't have to be. It don't have to be male. It don't have to be all male.
Yeah.
It can be female too.
Oh, Sasha Banks.
There you go. I'm like, you don't have to be all male.
Well,
like...
Naomi. No, I love Naomi. Yeah, sorry, obviously. Okay, now I'm remembering all these names. Yeah, okay. I'd say any formation of what I just Booker T as well, Mark Henry. Yeah, okay. Sorry, my memory is not good. Go on, continue.
If you had the opportunity to change the outcome of a match, what match would it be and why? It doesn't have to be exclusive to WWE either. Any match you've seen in the past that you feel like, hey, this outcome could have been better if they did this.
So a couple of days ago at Money in the Bank Theory won Money in the Bank. On recent memory, I would have to say that because Seth Rollins should have won that match. Too soon? Perhaps.
Yeah, this man out here talking about A-Town down we haven't said A-Town down since Obama got elected the first time. That was 2008.
Yeah.
It's 2022.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It must suck to have this guy come from where you guys come from, right? Like
he's from McDonough. He's not from Atlanta. He's from McDonough. That is literally that's a suburb, like at the border of Marietta, like a whole part of another city. It's not Atlanta.
Okay.
WWE has this thing of they like to generalize Atlanta. The only person we claim from Atlanta is Cody Rhodes.
I respect that. He's great.
But that's the only and I agree with you on that outcome because oh boy, yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna put on that no more because that thing made me mad. List content creator. I'm a list the name of content creators, and in short, tell me your thoughts of these creators. Brandon does everything.
Game changer.
Chris Dinker, aka Dink Ops, aka Chris Danger. So many AKAs.
What's the word I'm looking for? Pioneer. Lay the groundwork for all of us.
Chris Smooth.
The greatest of all time. Love him.
Muscle Man Malcolm.
So much potential that it hurts. He's going to be one of the all-time great interviewers one day.
Logan Paul.
Underappreciated in the current day. I really do like Logan.
KSI.
Without him, I arguably wouldn't even be here. He's phenomenal. He's the best.
Simply Better AM. Oh, sorry. You changed the game for the UK? Elaborate on that a little bit. Elaborate on a little bit.
Yeah. Simply put, I mean, without KSI and without the sidemen that followed, like, the UK YouTube scene would not be what it is right now. Like, he, from doing those Q&A Sunday skits, like from the FIFA videos, like, he proved that if you're a gaming YouTuber, you don't have to just be gaming. Like, you can move up and you can do all these things and you can break into the mainstream and like from the and like the boxing, like he's on so many levels. He's changed the game. It's mad. But yeah, sorry, go.
Simply Better AM.
Simply better than the rest.
Stacks Montana.
I want to meet him one day and I want to collab with him. I think he's great. He's great.
I'm gonna collab. I'm gonna put all these guys in the same boat. Deadlock, that being Pulse, John Blood, and Tony Pizza Guy.
Fantastic.
And last but certainly not least, Phoenix Nitro.
Jabroni, loser, despise him. He sucks. No, you know what? Okay, we're gonna break the air with this whole Phoenix thing. I'll stop being in kayfabe for a second. Without that man, I arguably wouldn't be here. He has taught me a lot, and he is, outside of the whole the GM versus GM thing and all that, he's a good guy. I'll give him that. But that's the last compliment I'm gonna give him. He's a bastard.
Hey man, and that is all we have for you today. I appreciate you for chilling with your boy. We really gonna collab at some point because hey man,
yeah,
that's all we can do, man. This content grind, like I know I've been a little lacking on the uploads on the 2K side, is because I said it on the podcast last week. WWE 2K22 is fun to bullshit around. Like if you just bullshit around, but like when you're creating content and detailed content like I used to or still kind of do, it is a headache.
Yeah,
for no reason. So, but all you can do is adapt.
I'd recommend going back to 2K19, by the way.
Oh, I'm already ahead of you, brother. I didn't even delete the game. Like I wasn't dumb to delete the game. I just put 2K22 on a different hard drive. So like so I can have both of them at the same time. Like hey man, we here. But I appreciate you for stopping by the table. Where can those of you who are not watching on YouTube or Twitch or wherever we're streaming this, for those in audio form, where can they follow you on social media?
So you can follow me at DeonteDDJ on pretty much everything, on Twitter, Instagram, on TikTok it's at real DeonteDDJ, YouTube DeonteDDJ. On Twitter I go by many personas because like my brother's on there sometimes, DeonteDDJ. There's multiple people running that Twitter account these days. It's a whole thing. It sends Gresh a little insane because he doesn't believe that there's multiple people on the Twitter account, but there is. I swear there is.
You about to turn me into Kevin Owens now. Come on now. You and these personas. Good Lord. But in all seriousness, I appreciate you for stopping by again. And for those of you who are not, make sure you check this guy out. And we will see you guys next time. That was a fun conversation with DeonteDDJ, YouTube extraordinaire. He needs to be at 100,000 subscribers at some point because this man is too talented to go unnoticed. He is highly talented. I recommend you guys check him out. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on social media at Gresh Unleashed as well as solo.to/Gresh, so that way you can be kept up to date with everything that goes on with this podcast and everything Gresh. If you want to keep up to me personally, all you have to do is follow me at Josh Gresham ORG. That is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is Joshua Gresham ORG. With that being said, you guys stay safe out here in the world of unknown. But as your purveyor of mischief, I have to remind you of the one known, and that is you are appreciated, especially by me. And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Be safe. We out. Be breezy.